Hey folks, you ever wonder why Arkham Asylum is so terrible at actually keeping Gotham's criminals locked up? I apparently have had those thoughts, and it's really because it's a mental institution and not a goddamn prison. And so I started thinking about, of all of Batman's rogues gallery, of these criminals, who should actually go to Arkham to help with mental illnesses, and who should go to jail. I've got a list here of 19 kind of key Batman villains, some more important than others, clearly. And we're going to go through and decide who needs to go to Arkham and who just needs to go to jail. We're going to start off with the biggie, with the Joker. And he's not crazy. The man has no mental illness. Nothing about him is crazy. People are like, oh, but he's got the makeup, and oh, he's an agent of chaos. And like, no, that's bullshit. He is just an attention-seeking criminal. Oh, but his crazy schemes! He's so wacky. He tried the trademark of fish. I'm like, that's not wacky. Businesses will actually trademark genetically modified seeds. They're protected all the time. Any sort of genetic modification is legally, protectable, and he could have just done that. But he just does stupid crimes and is incompetent. He's constantly getting caught. He's the annoying high school kid who gets in trouble because he thinks it makes him look cool. So he's not crazy. Not to Arkham. Joker goes to jail. With the Joker, now you have to think about Harley Quinn. And this one, again, has never made sense to me. A trained psychologist who falls for the Joker. And I get that people make poor decisions when, they fall in love. You'll do anything for this person or whatever. But when did she actually go, into full Harley Quinn mode? When did she go crazy? What, prior to her physical and emotional abuse at the hands of the Joker, was her break from law-abiding citizen to gangster mall for an idiot clown? There is nothing in that period of which I am aware to cause that transition. Mad Love, the original story, just talked about it, has she fell in love, and that was it. So for her crimes, most of them, jail, but then maybe a women's shelter for, trying to kill the Joker multiple times, because, that guy, frankly, deserved it, and she deserves better as a person. Catwoman, clearly, not crazy, just a thief in bondage gear. A lot of people get their kicks from committing crimes, but she's just a sexy burglar. Jail. So 3 for jail. Poison Ivy. Now here's a different one. Maybe a hospital? Rather than just a regular prison. But is she, thinking people sucks and thinking that people suck and that plants should take over the world? That's not crazy. That's actually a reasonable assessment of the world. So she's just an eco-terrorist with a skin condition. Jail. Scarecrow. Very smart. Possibly legally incompetent due to the exposure to all his fear toxin all the time. Because I can't even really pinpoint what his crimes were about. What did he do aside from just trying to make people crazy? You don't usually see him knocking over a jewelry store or anything. So in his case, yeah, maybe he's not all there, and he can go to Arkham. So there's the first one. Scarecrow goes to Arkham. Bane, just roided out mafioso, straight to jail, no worries. Man-Bat, neither Arkham nor jail. He's a giant fucking bat. Just put his ass down or put him into a very freaky zoo. But Ventriloquist. This guy actually believes, in most versions of the character, that his dummy is alive and is the brains of the operation and is running things. It doesn't seem to be an act. He has a disorder of some sort. Ventriloquist goes to Arkham. Penguin. Not crazy in any incarnation. Just a short criminal. Just a posh little prick. But awesome when Paul Williams did his voice on the Batman animated series, because anything with Paul Williams is automatically better. So yes, jail for Penguin. Killer Croc, similar to Man-Bat. He does eat people, but that's kind of not really his fault. As depictions have gone forward in the comics and the shows and stuff, he gets more and more like just a bipedal crocodile all the time. So he's kind of just doing his natural thing on top of being a criminal. So maybe super jail, but more than likely just whatever zoo that you put Man-Bat in, if you just don't outright, kill him, put him down. Clock King. Temple Fugit is the version I'm looking at. Serious OCD, possibly post-traumatic stress, probably a couple other things, but at the same time, all of those things it's just an older, whiny white guy who complains about the one time he was late and bad things happen because of it. That happens to far less privileged people all the time, and they don't get to turn into a life of crime. That's just a guy who's pissed. That's, watching Falling Down or something. So, jail for Clock King. Not Arkham. He's out. Two-Face. People are going to say, oh, he's got multiple personalities. But that's not at all true, right? Both sides, the Harvey face and the Two-Face side, they're going to kill you. They're all committing crimes either way. The Harvey side still knows he's doing it, and he's just a murderer who's going to try and use an insanity defense. Jail for Two-Face. Clayface. Now here's one. The dude can literally not keep his composure. I think that if you go through that, that's probably going to have some sort of impact upon your brain. If it's actually changing shape, that may impact your ability to think straight. Got to be some damage. Toss him into Arkham, or at least a tightly sealed barrel, because, he's messed up. Deathstroke. Just a rich mercenary. Blame his super soldier serum or whatever the DC equivalent there may be. But he can be a law-abiding citizen if he so chooses. Jail for Deathstroke. Riddler. Clearly knows right from wrong. Because he advertises his crimes as crimes, so he knows he's doing the wrong thing. But he uses his puzzles in his crimes. That's crazy. No, he's just a jerk who wants to get caught. He's like that asshole who will get on Facebook after committing a crime and taunt the police saying, oh, you can't catch me, and then gets caught. He is the Gotham equivalent of Florida Man. So yeah, jail for Riddler. No problems there. Mad Hatter. Now, this is one of the worst Batman villains all around. And I don't mean his quality as a character. I mean his personal character, because dude is totally a rapist, right? Mind-controlling little blonde girls or something. Yeah, it's a rape thing. So just fucking chair for this guy. He's not going to jail for very long. He's gonna die. Firefly. Again, not a huge one here, but arsonist. I think the Gar Lenz version, he was a pyromaniac since he was a child. Realistically, would go to jail, but in this case, I think he probably should be treated for mental illness. Criminally insane. Arkham he goes. Mr. Freeze, jail. A well-refrigerated jail, yes, but still, jail nonetheless. People will say, oh no, he's so cold, it's stunted his emotions. No, that makes no sense. That's not how the brain works. And he knows he's committing crimes. He may feel they're justified, but it doesn't matter. It's still illegal to try and kill someone to get the diamonds or whatever to keep your wife refrigerated. Jail for Mr. Freeze. Lastly on my list here, I'm sorry I didn't take the time to round it to an even 20. I think this is 19. Ras al Ghul. The dude is a terrorist. Some may make the case that he loses his mind every time he comes out of the Lazarus pit, but that's for a couple of days out of every 100 or so years, and the rest of the time he's fine. So he's lucid 99% of his life and has been a mass murderer for hundreds of years. So Ras al Ghul also goes to jail. So you can see that the problem here is not Arkham having bad security, it's the fact that we're putting people in the wrong place, and they should just be put in jail as opposed to a mental health facility. If you can think of any counter arguments or any other characters who we want to analyze for where they should be placed, please let me know in the comments or whatever. Otherwise, have a lovely day.